Welcome all of you to the Hope Concert. Many thanks to everyone who worked very hard on this project. Please welcome Zach, who is our tech savvy person. Please.
Hello everyone, I am Zachary Edenbaum. I'm the tech lead for the Hope Concert, and I wanted to give you this speech because our co-founder, I.A. Palmer, can't be with us today, so thank you everyone for being here. She's off to college today, yesterday being the first moving day at Brown, so I'll be reading a short intro for her. While everyone is aware of the extreme toll COVID is taking globally, not everyone stops to think about what one group that's already suffering. That group has seen its ranks grow, its hardships increase as resources become scarce during this global fight. The group I'm referring to are the millions of children who have become orphans. In the first half of the pandemic, COVID-19 could have led to death within weeks, leaving families with little time to prepare children for what they might experience with their caregivers dead. The COVID-19 associated orphanhood crisis is occurring against a backdrop of more than 140 million children who experienced orphanhood before the COVID-19 pandemic. Suffering exacerbated early on and even now by travel restrictions that keep some children from escaping desperate circumstances and burdening orphanages with children that would otherwise have been placed with loving families. Globally, the number of children in urgent need continues to grow. Given the scope of this unfolding tragedy, this group of young people and artists have come together to raise awareness of this humanitarian crisis. Next will be a pre-recorded video by I.A. Palmer with more specific information about the Hayden Foundation, which has partnered with us for this concert.
And welcome. Thank you for coming to those who are with us in person, and to those of you who are joining virtually, thank you for tuning in. I am I.A. Palmer, co-founder of the Hope Concert, as well as a communications director. Unfortunately, I could not go to the kickoff event today because I just moved into my freshman dorm at Brown University, but I would still like to thank each and every one of you for helping us raise support for special needs orphans and to give you a bit of a background on our mission. So I thought of the Hope Concert in the summer of my senior year with Wendy Song, who is our other co-founder and our artistic director. We chose the Philip Hayden Foundation for our donations immediately because I was going to work with Shepherd's Field Children's Village, which is the foundation's orphanage, but I could not go due to COVID-19 travel restrictions. Thus, with our wonderful board of directors and board of advisors, we created this experience with globally recognized artists and easily accessible viewing anywhere with a stable internet connection. So now introducing the Philip Hayden Foundation. The foundation was created in 1995 and provides support for the Shepherd's Field Children's Village, a care center for special needs children in China. Over 11 years, the village expanded to include not only a safe haven for special needs orphans, but also a medical clinic, a school, a vocational center, and an outreach center. The campus is staffed by local Chinese workers in various positions and was previously open to international volunteers before COVID-19. During the pandemic, the care center was impacted particularly negatively due to lack of sponsorship and funding by the Chinese government. Current children in their care require daily medical exams and many need surgery. Our charity concert hopes to raise $2,000 through all of our events and donations this year and hopefully gain enough support to make this a year-round enterprise. All proceeds from this and all following concerts will go directly to the Philip Hayden Foundation via the platform Give Butter. More information can be found by visiting our website, which is the QR code on our posters, or thehopeconcert.com. You can also find information about the Philip Hayden Foundation at chinaorphans.org. Please enjoy the rest of the show, and thank you for helping raise funds for the Shepherd's Field Children's Village.
1,000 thanks for everyone who has participated to help this project come to fruition. The orphans that we're helping out have actually suffered very much from the pandemic, and if you could, if those who are listening and watching, if you could find the generosity in your heart to scan the QR code either in the program, or the QR code also links you directly to the website, www.thehopeconcert.com. and you can find a column with the title Donate, and that will give you the chance to donate to this orphanage that very desperately needs help. As it was mentioned earlier, they do not receive funding from the Chinese government, which makes their position especially difficult. And now we're going to start the musical performances. The first performance is going to be by myself, Yashar Garzan. I'm going to tell an ancient Chinese story. Soon in China, it will be called Zhongqiujie, the Moon Festival. And the moon is a very meaningful subject and topic for the entirety of the traditional Chinese arts. The moon is often linked with many different subjects, a lot of subjects like homesickness, and homesickness is a very meaningful topic for many people. Many people have to leave their homes and go very far away and be alone in the world, trying to help their families and themselves, of course. And I'm going to tell you this story of how the rabbit got on the moon. There's in the Moon Festival, the story of Chang'e, the moon goddess. Her story is often told, but very few people get to hear the story of how the rabbit who accompanies Chang'e up there on the moon, very few people actually hear this story, and this is a story I will tell you today. Before I will perform, the music that you will hear is traditional music from all over China, from northern China, southern China, and even traditional Chinese religious music, which includes melodies from the folk music. You'll see how beautifully these traditions express the deepest and most delicate sentiments of the human heart. And hopefully you will enjoy it. Thank you, everyone. In ancient China, there was an old man who was starving to death. This old man had gave his hand to the world of people, hoping that they would give him something to eat. But the world of people, unfortunately, were very, very selfish, and they refused to give him anything. And so, having little time left, the old man made his way into a bamboo forest, hoping that the animals of the forest would be a little more generous. Unfortunately, when he gave his hand to the animals, they also refused. They were frightened. They said, "Hey, stay away from the old man. He is a human. And the human being is a very dangerous creature. Oh yes, not only do they harm us, but they harm each other. They lie to each other, steal from each other. Hey, there are things that they do to one another that we would never do to ourselves. Animals, fellow animals, stay away from the human being." And the old man, he says, please, I am no threat to you. I am a starving old man. Please have some compassion and give me something to eat. Just something so that I can continue for the rest of the day. And the animals, they said, "Hey, maybe in your world, a starving human is harmless, but in our world, a starving human is very dangerous. We will not help you." However, with that in mind, there were 3 animals that saw no threat in the old man. There was the fox. There was the monkey. And there was the rabbit. And they went off hoping to find something to give to the old man. And the fox searched and searched. The fox found a large basket full of the most juiciest fish that he had ever seen. Now, originally the fox was going to take just one fish to give to the old man, but then the fox thought, wait a minute, this old man, he's starving, he just needs a little something to eat. Me, I can have all of these fish for myself. So that's exactly what the fox did. He gathered as many fish as he could, put it into his foxhole, and took the smallest, most unattractive fish to give to the starving old man. And then we come to the monkey. The monkey found a beautiful tree full of many juicy fruits. So juicy it was almost bursting. But the monkey, like the fox, was originally going to take only one fruit to give to the old man. But then the monkey thought, wait a minute. This old man, yes, he's poor, he's starving, but he's still a human. And the human being is a very powerful creature in the world. If I give generously, perhaps I will receive much more in return. So the monkey stole a basket from a careless farmer and put as many fruits as he could into the basket, and with great effort carried this basket of fruit to give to the old man. And then we come to the rabbit. The rabbit, unfortunately, did not know how to gather anything else other than blades of grass. And knowing that the old man did not have much time left, the rabbit, with great sadness in its heart, decided to return to the old man with nothing. So the three animals gathered together in front of the old man, and the fox approached the old man. The fox said, old man, I have searched far and I have searched wide, but in the end all I could find for you was this small little fish. Take it, it's yours. I went through great efforts to acquire it. And the fox said this all the while thinking of his large basket of juicy fish in his foxhole. And then the monkey approached the old man. The monkey says, man, oh great and powerful king of all animals, here I have a basket, large basket full of the most juiciest fruits you had ever seen. Take it, it is yours. I give it to you out of the goodness of my own heart. However, if you wish to reward me, I certainly will not argue with you. And finally, the rabbit approaches with great sadness in its heart. The rabbit says, old friend, forgive me. I could not gather anything besides blades of grass. However, I am willing to offer all of myself to you, so that you may live for one more day. And with those words, the old man stood up, as if in perfect health. He waved his arms and revealed himself to be Guan Yin, the Buddha of compassion. And it turned out that Guan Yin had come to the world to try to find an answer for the problem of suffering. And Guan Yin approached the fox, and she said with great gentleness in her voice, she says, little fox, You were so selfish. You kept so much for yourself and gave so little to a suffering being. You only gave what you didn't want. Your heart, it's too greedy, and your greed is not the answer to the problem of suffering. No, indeed, it makes it worse. At this point, the monkey interrupted. Says, Buddha, Buddha, oh great and powerful, wise and merciful Buddha of compassion. I am not selfish like the fox. I gave generously. I filled the basket with all that it could carry, and I kept nothing for myself. I am not greedy like the fox, huh? And Guan Yin approached the monkey, and again with great gentleness in her voice, she says, little monkey, it is true. You gave very generously. However, you were generous with the aim of reward and profit. Your heart is too ambitious, and your ambition is not the answer to the problem of suffering. No, indeed, it only makes it worse. At this point, Guan Yin approached the rabbit, and again with great gentleness in her voice, she says, little rabbit, you were so willing to give all of yourself to help a suffering being whom you did not know. You were so willing to give your life just so that the life of another could live for just one more day. Your heart is full of compassion, and it is compassion that is the answer to the problem of suffering. And to the moon, where it was given the special task of making special potions, special medicinal elixirs, and in the ingredients, the rabbit must feed its wisdom of compassion into the elixir. It has been said that if you find this potion and if you drink this special mixture, then your heart will be free from all suffering. And that, my friends, brings us to the end of that story. Next performance will be by a friend of mine, Neva Begovic from Croatia. She's a professional cellist, and she's going to play a Croatian folk song. Please enjoy the performance. The folk song is called in English, God Give Me the Eyes of a Hawk. Please enjoy. And
the song itself is called God Give Me the Eyes of a Hawk, and it's awesome.
The next performance is 西游水象. In English, it's often translated as capriccio from the western regions of China. Please, everyone, welcome and enjoy the performance of Melody Chen. Is from the vibration of the left hand, but as you can see in the modern guzheng performance, so much of the expression is from the technique, and what a beautiful technique, very beautiful music. The next performance is also an example of very fine modern guzheng music. The title is 欢相曲. Fantasia, or Fantasy, as some people also call it, by I. Kalmer, also on the guzheng. Please, everyone, enjoy this beautiful music. Thank you. one wise person said that life without music would be a mistake. And when you hear music like that, how can you disagree? The next performance is by a professional erhu player. Erhu is as you'll see, is a Chinese bowed-stringed instrument. The instrument has 2 strings, and you'll see how beautifully, how much can be expressed with just 2 strings. It's really impressive. The performer is named Feng Yufei. Feng Yufei. She's from China. I think she's also performing from China in a recording that you'll see. The piece is called Capriccio in the name of Qin Qiang. Qin Qiang is northern Chinese musical arts in Shanxi province, often performed in shadow puppetry. Very beautiful. Please, everyone, enjoy the performance.
冯玉飞，今年13岁，现就读于中央音乐学院附中。作为一名中国民乐学习者，我很荣幸可以向您展示二胡的魅力，也很高兴参与此次演出。感谢您的聆听，希望您可以喜欢我的演奏。谢谢大家。Hello everyone, my name is Feng Yufei. I'm 13 years old. Now I'm studying in the Philadelphia Middle School of Music, Central Conservatory of Music. I'm a Chinese folk music learner. I'm very honored to show you the chant of erhu. I'm also very happy to participate in this performance. Thank you for listening, and I hope you like my performance. Thank you so much.
instrument that you saw being performed is another Chinese instrument called yangqin. And the funny thing about that instrument is that the name yangqin in traditional Chinese, it literally means foreign instrument. That's because that instrument came from the Silk Road, from Persia, from ancient Persia, and where it's still performed in Persia today by another name, santur. Very beautiful music. And please, everyone, feel free to visit the website or to scan the QR code on the program. Or you could also visit us by our social media channels like Facebook and Instagram. And now for the next performance, an example of modern guzheng playing by the wonderful Danny Ning. He's going to perform a piece called Jiang Junlin, which means, often it's translated as the general's command. Some more passionate music. Everyone, please welcome and enjoy the performance of Danny Ning.
It has about 2,500 years of history, and nowadays it's spread out widely in the world. The guzheng has existed during the warring stage period and become especially popular during the Qin dynasty. The modern guzheng has 21 strings that are wrapped with nylon. As you can see, the middle of the guzheng is called a bridge. It helps the strings to stand on the surface of the guzheng. And there are many interesting techniques in the playing of guzheng, such as the leads that Yasha used a lot. Usually we play on right side of guzheng, and when pressing on the same strings on the left side, it makes a very interesting sound. There are also a lot of combinations with both hands. And now I'm playing the song called Jiang Junlin with all these techniques.
strong militaristic name like that, it's amazing that the music can sound so especially delicate. That is the magic of this instrument and of music, to turn anything into something that's truly beautiful and delicate. Yes. The next performance is again by Miss Chen. She performed earlier. She's going to perform Yao Zu Wu Shu.
No more performance.
It's Wendy.
It's Wendy ending.
Oh, everyone, please welcome the closing of the performance by Wendy Song. Everyone.
I'm the artistic director of the Hope Concert, and I'm also one of the co-founders. I am here today because of the help of the board of directors and the board of advisors. So a big thank you to them. As all of you may know, this concert is for the Filipino Foundation. It is to help out with the orphanages in China, and especially the Filipino Foundation, since all of our profits will be going to their organization. I hope you enjoyed the concert, and I hope that in the future you continue to come to our future concerts and continue to support us throughout this journey. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed. Please give a big round of applause to the people who performed here today, in person and online, please.